Imagine for a moment that feeling of fatigue, sluggishness, or that lack of confidence you've noticed lately could have a surprisingly simple cause, something almost nobody talks about, and that's right in front of you in the kitchen: the acidity level in your body. And that just 1 teaspoon of baking soda could be the key to restoring your vitality, improving your circulation, and even boosting your confidence in intimacy, especially after the age of 60. This isn't a story, it's pure, real science. A science that, unfortunately, many older men never get to know. For more than a decade, I've worked with men like Michael, 63, and Daniel, 67, who are looking to regain their strength, mental clarity, and energy, without false promises or embarrassment. What's surprising is that in many cases, it all starts with a change so simple it's hard to believe. I want you to remember this: baking soda is not just a household cleaning product. Used correctly, it can improve circulation, increase the oxygen available to your muscles, enhance your physical performance, and even unblock the tiny vessels that nourish your most essential organs, including those responsible for your intimate performance. What's remarkable is that very few people know this is possible. Today, I'll show you how to safely use baking soda to boost your energy and take care of your intimate health starting right now. No complications, no magic formulas, just real solutions that strengthen you from the inside out. And if you stay with me until the end, I'll share a simple 7-day plan that men like Richard, 65, and Stephen, 70, consider a true rebirth, all with just 1 teaspoon. Before we continue, I'd love to know something to connect with our community. Which city or country are you watching from? Write it in the comments. I love meeting people who truly care about their health, and this allows me to create more useful and relevant content for you and your region. Let's get straight to it. Now, let's talk about something that is rarely mentioned. Why do so many men, once they reach a certain age, feel their spark fading, their energy and confidence diminishing? After 60, it's not just about age, it's about what's happening inside the body, about its internal balance, and understanding this is the first step to changing everything. I've heard many older men whisper it almost in secret, as if they shouldn't admit it: "I feel like I've lost my spark." It's not vanity, it's because we all want to keep feeling alive, to look in the mirror and see vitality, not fatigue. After 60, it's common to notice duller skin, energy that runs out faster, and confidence in your body slowly fading. Many believe this is simply aging, but the reality is that, in most cases, the cause is something else. The internal balance of the body shifts, and recognizing it is the first step to restoring it. As we age, the body becomes more acidic, more inflamed, and starts to accumulate waste it used to eliminate effortlessly. The kidneys don't work as fast, the blood thickens, and toxins stay longer. This weakens circulation, and gradually that inner light that makes us feel alive begins to fade. I remember a patient named William, 68. He told me that he used to wake up every day full of energy, with a clear mind, ready to tackle anything. But lately, even if he slept well, he would wake up feeling empty, like something was missing. His skin looked dull. He had no desire to do anything. Motivation faded. And even though the doctors told him everything was fine, he knew something was off. The truth is that our bodies aren't designed to accumulate toxins for years without a way to balance themselves. Sometimes all they need is a little boost, and that boost can come from something as simple and underestimated as baking soda. Because once you understand how it helps restore the body's natural chemistry, you never see it the same way again. First, the science behind baking soda and how it impacts the body's pH. When I explain to my patients how baking soda works inside the body, many look at me in disbelief. Really, that white powder I sometimes use to clean or brush my teeth? Yes, that very same one. But beyond its classic uses for deodorizing, cleaning the fridge, or whitening teeth, there is something far more important. We are talking about a natural alkalizer, capable of counteracting the excess acidity that builds up in the body, helping bring the internal environment to a more balanced state. And believe me, after 60, that balance can make a huge difference in how you feel day to day. Over the years, the body tends to become more acidic. This acidity may go unnoticed at first, but it acts like a silent fog that drains energy, stiffens joints, dulls the skin, and slows down cellular function. However, when baking soda is used correctly, it's as if that fog is lifted by a gentle breeze. Blood flows better, oxygen reaches the muscles more easily, and often inflammation decreases. I remember a man named Steven who decided to start a simple routine using baking soda. After a few days, he told me, "I feel like I've regained a bit of my spark." I'm not saying it's a miraculous powder, but when used responsibly, it becomes a powerful tool because what really starts to improve is something fundamental: circulation. And if the blood doesn't flow well, it doesn't matter how many healthy habits you have, the results will be limited. That's why now we'll see how this small ingredient can revitalize one of the body's most important systems. Let's move on to point number 2, baking soda and blood circulation. After years of working with older men, I've learned that circulation is not a minor issue. It's the heart of everything. It's not just about the heart or the arteries. It's about life reaching every corner of the body, about energy flowing and being felt in every movement. And what I often observe is that, after 60, many men tell me they feel cold hands and feet, that wounds take longer to heal, they get tired easily, and even notice changes in their intimate life. All of these are clear signs that blood is not circulating as it once did. What hurts the most is when they say, "Well, it must be age," when in reality, the body is just asking for help to improve blood flow. That's when baking soda stops being just a kitchen product and becomes a true ally for circulation. Several studies show that when taken in the correct amounts, it helps relax blood vessels and increase nitric oxide production, a key substance for maintaining artery elasticity. It's like a gentle cleaner from the inside, clearing the way so blood can reach the muscles, the brain, the skin, and yes, also the sexual organs. I remember a patient named Edward, 72, who came in frustrated because his feet were always cold and he lacked energy. I suggested something very simple with baking soda, and a week later he told me, "It's like someone turned the faucet back on." It's not magic, it's science, and it's one of those quiet ways this modest powder strengthens the very foundation of vitality. But having good circulation doesn't just mean feeling more awake or having warmer hands and feet. It's a crucial factor when it comes to physical performance, endurance, and confidence, even in the most private aspects of life. And that's exactly what we'll look at now. Point 3, baking soda and muscle performance after 60. Many men share a particular frustration with me, the feeling that, even when they do everything right, their body doesn't respond like it used to. They tell me I exercise, I take care of myself, and yet I get tired at the slightest effort. It's not laziness or a lack of willpower. It's simply the result of acid building up in the muscles over the years. Even simple tasks can leave muscles tight, sore, and slow to recover. This is where baking soda comes in, an option few consider, but one that can be truly useful. It has the special ability to neutralize lactic acid, which forms when muscles work under strain. When that acid isn't eliminated, fatigue comes quickly. But when it's counteracted, muscles perform better, tire less, and recover faster. I think of Sergio, a retired firefighter, who was 61 when he came to see me. He told me he felt exhausted even after climbing a few flights of stairs. I suggested he incorporate a very simple routine with baking soda, and shortly after he said, "Now I can move like I used to, without running out of breath." And this is just one example of how something so basic can help you regain strength, energy, and the desire to live. Although he still enjoyed his morning walks, halfway through his legs would start to feel numb, and that change was exactly what he needed. We discussed it and decided to add a small dose of baking soda to his morning routine. Just a few days later, he noticed something incredible. He could complete the entire park walk without a single cramp. It had been months since anything like that had happened. Those small victories, believe me, are what reignite the spark of confidence. Confidence not only in your body, but in life itself. And of course, having better muscle recovery is wonderful, but baking soda goes much deeper. It reaches a subject that men our age rarely talk about, but that we all quietly think about every day. I want us to address it together because when baking soda helps blood flow better to a vital and delicate part of the body, the results can be surprising. How it connects with mental sharpness. Many men describe it the same way, and I've experienced it myself. You walk into a room and, why did I come in here? The word stays on the tip of your tongue, and the worst part is you feel tired, like you didn't sleep at all. These small forgetfulness moments seem part of aging, but they leave a mark undermining confidence. I remember Henry, a retired teacher, who told me, I used to feel sharp, ready for anything. Now I feel like I'm walking through fog. What many don't understand is that this mental fog and fatigue are connected to what's happening inside the blood. The same blood that nourishes the brain. When the body's pH is unbalanced, when the blood becomes denser and more acidic, the brain suffers first. This is where baking soda comes in. By promoting a more alkaline environment, it helps blood flow better, bringing more oxygen and nutrients to the brain. The result, you start to feel clearer, steadier, more present. Henry described it as if the fog lifted. That clarity doesn't just affect memory, it brings presence back into life, into family, into every conversation. And when the mind awakens, the whole body begins to follow. Now, what if I told you that this same simple remedy can help one of the most overlooked muscle groups in the body, directly related to strength, control, and even sexual health? Yes, baking soda can improve blood flow to the penis. Many men lean in a little at this point, and I completely understand. Sexual confidence doesn't disappear with age. It just gets buried under frustration, silence, and embarrassment. I've treated countless older men who quietly tell me, I don't feel the same down there anymore. And what they don't know is that, many times, it's not so much about testosterone, but circulation. Yes, it's that simple. The real problem lies in the tiny vessels that supply the penis, which I call penile veins, and over time they can become inflamed, narrow, or blocked. And this is where baking soda plays a key role again. By reducing acidity and easing inflammation, it promotes better circulation. When the internal chemistry is balanced, blood flows more freely, not just to the brain or muscles, but also to the most intimate areas of the body. I remember a patient named Manuel, 73, who expressed it clearly. Not only did my performance improve, it restored my dignity. Changes like this are rarely mentioned, but they are completely deserved. Baking soda, used correctly, can be part of a more complete solution to restore vitality in the areas of life that one thought were silently lost. It's not about miracles, but about giving the body what it needs to function as it knows how. And now that we've seen what baking soda can do for you, I want to explain how to use it safely, effectively, and with the respect your body deserves. We will talk about 7 ways, both internal and external, to use it correctly. Once we understand the impact of baking soda on circulation, energy, and male intimacy, the next step is learning how to use it safely. And I'll be very honest with you, it's like any powerful tool. Used correctly, it can be highly beneficial. Used incorrectly, it can cause discomfort or unwanted effects. Throughout my 23 years as a specialist, I've seen many men jump in without guidance, take too much, or apply it without direction, and then end up disappointed or uncomfortable. That's why I always tell them, there's no need to overdo it. Sometimes the simplest approach is the most effective. A very practical and safe method I recommend is mixing half a teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of room temperature water. This is taken on an empty stomach a few times a week, and with just that, many men begin to notice positive changes. Some have told me that within a few weeks they notice improvements in digestion, their skin looks clearer and more vibrant, and they even feel lighter, as if their body can breathe better. It's not spectacular, but it's powerful in its subtlety. For those who suffer from swelling or joint stiffness, I suggest a foot soak with warm water and baking soda before bed. This helps relieve tension and allows the body to eliminate toxins through the skin. I've even recommended some men use gentle baking soda masks, and several, whose skin looked dull and tired, were surprised by the change after just 1 or 2 uses. But, of course, all of this only works if done carefully, because there are mistakes, common mistakes, that can silently ruin all those benefits. Before starting, I want to talk about what to avoid so you don't fall into the same traps many others do. One of the things that frustrates me most in my practice is seeing someone try something with as much potential as baking soda, but because they don't know how to use it correctly, they end up thinking it doesn't work, or worse, that it harmed them. And I don't blame them. Most people don't receive guidance on how to apply natural remedies responsibly. Some are told to avoid them completely, and others are simply left to try on their own without understanding the balance needed. With baking soda, balance is key. The first mistake, and I see it constantly, is overuse. Just because a little helps doesn't mean more is better. If taken too often or in high amounts, it can irritate the stomach, raise blood sodium levels, and even overload the kidneys, especially if there are pre-existing issues. I remember a patient, Ignacio, who started taking it morning and night every day with good intentions, but soon began to feel bloated and unusually tired. We adjusted the dose, gave him a break, and within a few days he felt better than ever. Another common mistake is not giving the body breaks. It's not about constant correction, but about providing support at key moments. That's why I usually recommend using it 3 to 4 times a week, not every single day without pause. And if you're taking medications, especially for blood pressure or kidney issues, you should consult your doctor. Not out of fear, but out of common sense. This isn't about radical changes overnight, but about choosing small actions each day that accumulate over time. For that reason, I designed a 7-day protocol. It's not a strict regimen, but a gentle, natural rhythm. Something many men, especially those already in their 60s or 70s, can follow without feeling overwhelmed and with surprising results. It all starts in the morning with a simple act of self-care, half a teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water before breakfast. Not every day, just on alternate days, to maintain a good level of alkalinity without overwhelming the body. On the other days, we focus on recovery, a foot soak, a facial rinse, or even a short walk with deep breathing. What we are doing is not just supporting the body, it's reminding it how it feels to be well. You begin to feel lighter, more awake, more connected to your own rhythm. One of my oldest patients, Armand, once told me that for the first time in many years, he woke up in the morning with a desire to live. He said something I will never forget. It gave me something to look forward to. And that spark, little by little, began to return. This routine is not a miracle cure, but it is a reminder that the body still knows how to heal, still knows how to shine, and still knows how to move forward with strength and dignity. However, even the best routine loses its power if we don't take care of the mindset that supports it. And this is where I want to bring you to a deeper point, something no medication can give, but that all men over 60 urgently need to reclaim, freeing ourselves from silent shame. There is something I want every man over 60 to hear, not just once, but as many times as necessary until he truly feels it in his heart. Your body is not broken. It may move slower, some parts may not respond the same, or you may sometimes feel disconnected from it, but it is still yours. It is alive. It is still capable of enjoying, of showing strength, and yes, of healing. The truth is that much of what we call aging is not only the passage of time, but years of accumulating inflammation, stress, silences, and that shame that is never spoken aloud. I've seen many men carry this weight, embarrassed because their desire no longer responds the same, because the body changes, because they feel they have lost a part of themselves. But there is a truth I always repeat. Confidence is not lost forever. It can be regained. And sometimes it starts with something as simple as getting up in the morning, looking at your glass of baking soda water, and deciding that today you choose to take care of yourself. That small gesture changes everything. It's your way of telling the body, you still matter, I'm still here, I'm not done yet. And I assure you from the heart, you are not done. In fact, you may be about to start the strongest, wisest, and most powerful chapter of your life. If anything I've shared today sparked something inside you, stay with me a little longer. I want to leave you with one final reflection, a simple but deep invitation to reconnect with yourself. It may transform the way you see your body, your health, and your future from this very moment. If my words touch something in you, even a small part, if you felt understood, supported, or hopeful, I invite you to do 3 simple things. Like the video, share it with a friend who might need it, and tell me in the comments which part resonated most with your heart. Your voice keeps this community alive. And if you want to support this mission of sharing honest and transformative messages with more people, you can make a small donation. Every gesture, no matter how small, helps keep this flame burning. Thank you for being here. You are more important than you realize.